Hello students, this is Effective Technical Communication and we are doing chapter number 1, Dynamics of Communication. Today we will be discussing about interpersonal communication. In our last lecture, we had studied 5 different levels of communication. The extrapersonal communication, the intrapersonal communication, the interpersonal communication, organizational communication and mass communication. So today we are going to study interpersonal communication. So as we discussed in our last lecture, interpersonal means in between two people. So today we are going to talk about what are various influences or what are various factors which will decide whether our interpersonal communication will be effective or not. Now, as we have already seen that in our daily lives as well as in our professional life, we do a lot of interpersonal communication and our life runs or happens just because of the interpersonal communication. And similarly, in the organizations, our professional work is actually guided by our interpersonal communication with our environment. So what does our environment contain? You have your superiors or your boss, you have your subordinates, you have your colleagues, you have your clients, and you have your vendors or suppliers. For every work that you do, you have to coordinate with all of them. And your work will depend upon the communication you do with these people. So there is a lot of interpersonal communication that happens in the organization, and this is why we are learning the components of interpersonal communication. So today we are going to discuss 4 elements or 4 components which influences the interpersonal communication, and particularly we will talk about how it influences the communication in the organization. So our first component today that we are going to talk about is self-concept. Now what does this self-concept mean? It means that the concept that I carry about myself. Now how does it influences the communication? The self-concept means the self-perception, that how you perceive yourself and how you feel that others perceive yourself. And then the way others perceive may also be different. Now it is very interesting to understand that the way we perceive ourselves, that is number 1. The way we perceive how others perceive us, that is number 2. And the way others actually perceive us, that is number 3. All these 3 things can be different, and that is why it makes the communication a little more complex. This perception leads to ineffective communication. So this self-concept comes a lot in between the communication happening in the organization. So what to do about that? So first of all, every person working in an organization who really want to improve one's communication and who also wants to become very good communicator, want to become effective in the work, must do a lot of introspection. Now to introspect means to analyze oneself, that why I always communicate like this, why always I am being misunderstood, what is the reason, am I making any mistake, am I thinking something which is wrong? The second component of our interpersonal communication is clarity of expressions. Now when we talk about clarity of expressions, then we have 2 aspects: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Now as far as verbal communication is concerned, we have already seen that it should be concise, the information should be correct, and the information should be complete without leaving any confusion. Also, you must choose the correct words to express your thoughts. And you must also see to it that you form correct sentences so that they mean what you exactly want to express. So as far as verbal communication is concerned, we know that we have to take care of the grammar part, we have to take care of the vocabulary part, and we also have to take care that our communication is to the point and it has to be complete without any kind of confusion. Now coming to the non-verbal communication. So how does non-verbal communication influences the clarity of expression? Now, as we have already studied in the non-verbal communication, where we studied about the body language, we studied about the facial expressions, then we studied about the gestures, we also studied about the voice modulation, the tone, the pronunciation. So all these things, they influence or they give an effect of clarity of expression to our communication. So, for example, if we don't pronounce a word correctly, then our listener will not understand and will be confused. They will just try to think that what we are trying to say. Again, when we use correct gestures or correct facial expressions, it enhances our communication. Now, correct gestures and correct facial expressions or correct body language means your body language must be in alignment with your verbal communication. We have already discussed in the barriers of communication that incongruity between the verbal communication and the non-verbal communication acts as a barrier. Now, the third component of interpersonal communication in organization is the interpersonal relationship within the organization. Now, this is a very interesting topic. In organizations, you will have many people who may work at different levels. Some of them work at the same level as you are, and some of them may be at a higher level or a lower level. Whatever the level may be, again the levels or the hierarchy of the people, the hierarchy of the organization or the designation of the person also influences the type of relationship you may have with them. So that is one thing. Another thing is that some people in the organization would be like-minded, so they form some groups and they become a little friendly. But there is one more aspect to interpersonal relationship in the organization, and that is competition. And because of that competition, people experience various feelings of jealousy, resentment, anger, threat, etc. And because of that, all these feelings, their communication is definitely affected. Because if somebody is jealous about some other person in the organization, then the person will tend to share less with that person. And what will happen? The lesser the sharing of information in the organization, the slower is the progress of the organization, or it affects the work in a negative manner. So this kind of interpersonal relationship, they are also very important. Now sometimes some people have a certain set of people in the organization with whom they have they cannot tolerate them, and because of that they will not communicate effectively. Now, as far as organizations are concerned, the only thing we have to remember is that we communicate because we work together. Another thing we have to remember is that we communicate for the sake of the work. And if our interpersonal relationship with the other person affects our communication, it is definitely going to affect our work. So it is very, very important to take care of these interpersonal relationship with others. Now that doesn't mean that you have to be friendly with each and every kind of person in the organization. Yes, because every person is very unique, and we cannot get along with all kinds of people. But then in the organization, we have to take care about our professionalism. We are together because of professional work, and so whether we like the nature of that person or whether we like the way that person works or not, it should not affect the way we work, and definitely it should not affect the way we communicate with others. Now, coming to the fourth component of interpersonal communication, which is a very, very important factor, and that is listening. Now, in the organizations, you will be more at the receiving end as compared to the sending end of the communication process. So that means that most of your work will depend more on the listening. Now, why listening is stressed more? Because listening has become very, very rare. I will give you an example. People generally listen to reply. That is the biggest mistake that we do. We listen to reply. That means whenever we are listening to the person, we are not paying attention to what the person is saying. We are also not paying attention to what the person may be feeling, okay, the emotions behind that person. But what we are paying attention, we are only thinking in our minds that after the other person finishes, what should I say? So when we do this, we miss out on understanding what the other person is saying, and we are only focused on what we want to reply. And because of that, we end up with ineffective communication. So to become a very good listener, what you must do? So a good listener always gives verbal and non-verbal cues to the speaker. Okay, what cues? Cues which says that yes, I am listening to you attentively, and I am listening to you to understand and not to reply. So actually, when you listen to understand, then your response will always be better. You will always communicate effectively when you listen to understand. So never ever listen to reply. Always listen to understand properly, and always have a habit of listening more rather than speaking. This is a myth that if you keep on speaking more, then you are a very smart person. You don't need to speak a lot just to prove that you are a very smart person. You have to listen and then speak. It is about what you speak and how you speak, and not how much you speak. So understand one thing, that listen more, listen attentively. Now when I say listen attentively, then when we listen attentively, we also have to pay attention to the non-verbal cues of the speaker. Also, never judge your speaker. Even before the person has finished speaking, do not judge the person. Just listen to the person as it is, the way the person is speaking. Try to understand rather than trying to judge. So again, it will lead to effective listening. And when you listen effectively, then you will speak effectively. And when you will speak effectively, you will be understood in a better manner. So to sharpen your listen skills, you have to take care of this. So this is how you can encourage your speaker to share more, because the more the sharing, it is always better to share more. So when we listen effectively, our interpersonal communication improves, and when our interpersonal communication improves, then we will be able to work effectively in the organization. We will get the desired goals or the results. We will get the desired results. So that is why the interpersonal communication is very, very important in the organizations. And the four components that we talked about, that is the self-concept, the clarity of expression, the interpersonal relationships in the organizations, and your listening skills. All these four are very, very important And if you try to sharpen them all or polish them all, then you will always be able to communicate effectively in the organization. And learning the interpersonal communication is the most important thing that we have to do, because the more we learn the interpersonal communication, the better we communicate with others. So that's all for today.